Okay, Prey, the fifth Predator movie. I'm a massive fan of the Predator movies. Obviously, the original being the best. I've got a nostalgic place in my heart for the second movie. I really like Predator 2. I didn't mind Predators. It's actually an okay film. But the Predator, directed by Shane Black, was a massive disappointment. And then shortly after, we find out we're actually getting a fifth Predator movie. But what we were going to get was something completely different, which is, I feel like, not just myself, but a lot of Predator fans have been wanting for a long time. And ever since this moment from Predator 2, with the elder Predator giving Harrigan the flintlock, and that is for this franchise to go back into the past, because I feel like, that's where we can really sort of keep what made the Predator, that original, so special, and maintain that magic, and just also by keeping it really fresh and different and new. And I as a fan, I felt like one way to do that was to go back into the past, and that is exactly what they've done for the fifth Predator movie, directed by Dan Trachtenberg. I liked what he did with 10 Cloverfield Lane. So yeah, when I found out that they were going sort of 200 years into the past, and it was gonna be based in North America, among sort of the Native Americans, that got me really excited. So I've seen the movie twice. It's been a week, and in that week I've seen it twice. I've seen it once in English, and then I've seen the Comanche dubbed version as well. So first of all, I just want to go and sort of start off with saying how beautiful this film looks. It's probably one of the most stunning looking Predator movies in terms of cinematography that we've seen. There are some really nice shots, especially the first couple of opening shots, and it's from those opening first shots of the beautiful shots of the landscape and the surroundings and of the camp. They did a really good job at immersing you into that world straight away. It's a beautiful looking movie. The cinematography is beautiful. The score by a Sarah, I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce this correctly, so apologies, Sarah Sarashna, I think, but she's done a lot of music for video games, Assassin's Creed Valhalla being one of them. Her score in this film, along with the cinematography and the direction, is just beautiful. It helps immerse you into this world, and I think she does a really good job at creating something new, but also very Predator. There's no use, or there's no, the classic Predator theme, the classic Predator music. There's none of that in the film, and that might disappoint some fans. For me, it didn't, because I didn't miss it. As much as I love Alan Silvestri's, original Predator score, and I felt like that, before going into this film, that if they didn't play it, I would miss it. But once you watch the film and you let the story sort of unfold, and for me anyway, personally, I didn't miss that classic original score, and I love it. But what Sarah did with Prey and her music and how it's incorporated into the film, it worked, and I really liked it. Performances all around are solid, but the standout is Amber Midthunder as our lead character, Naru. She is amazing in this movie. Her performance, she really sells the fear and the terror, especially that moment, that moment which we've seen in the trailers of the bear and she sees the Predator, the first reveal of the Predator. And yeah, she really sells the terror, and her sort of how her character grows throughout the story felt very natural, didn't feel pushed or forced. Yeah, she was great in this. And also the guy playing the Predator, Dane DeLigero, again, apologies, I'm struggling to pronounce the surname there, but the way he brings the Predator to life through movement in this is just great. Again, like the music, it's different, it's unique. He has this sort of different kind of style to it, and again, it's not too different. It's still very Predator, but he really, you know, sort of those little nuances he does with the character, he makes it his own. It's a different, completely different Predator, as they call it, the feral Predator, and he does a really good job with the way he sort of just, you know, so I loved his movement. And the one thing that I felt like these movies have been missing since the original, which we got with Prey, so thank the Lord, and that is suspense and tension. I feel like the movies have been missing that massively. You know, where you get those moments where it's just quiet and the, you know, the character will be looking into the distance, into the jungle, and it's like, is it there? Something's there looking at us. And we got that again with this, and I think Dan Trachtenberg did a really good job at sort of, this is very similar in terms of how it plays out narratively, you know, beats like the first movie, but it's still different enough to not just be a carbon copy of that original. And I think he does a really good job at recreating those moments, but again, making it his own. And there's this one particular moment that I only noticed during the second time. It's in the trailers where they're in the long grass and they got the bow and arrow. You can see it. You can actually see the Predator walking towards you. Now, on first viewing, I didn't notice it because obviously it's cloaked. But on the second viewing, I'm looking and it's like, oh my god, there it is. And I love that because that's what I feel like we've been missing from these movies, is that creepiness and that sort of and that tension and that suspense of where is it. And I've said this a couple of times in regards to certain films where you can, you know, they can be as deep as you make them, or they can be as shallow as you make them, and you can, you know, you still enjoy it. Like, you could just sit back and watch this film and just really, really enjoy it for what it is. Or, you know, you can sort of really dig into it with the character's journey, Amber Midfinder's character, Naru, and really sort of dig into that. It can be as deep as you want it to be, and I really like that as well. I kind of liked how her character grew and what they were trying to say with that character's growth, in terms of, you know, try not to listen to the naysayers, those people that put you down, you know, and sort of question your ability in life. And I really appreciated that because, you know, as for me personally, it's something that I've had to sort of deal with myself. And so I think, you know, it's not going to connect with everyone, but for me, that character's journey really resonated with me. And yeah, and this is the first Predator sequel that we get where we get a line from the original movie and it doesn't feel out of place or forced, or, you know, they just say it because it's cool and it's going to get the audience all excited. It felt natural. There's a line that a certain character says during this movie, and the way they said it, the way they delivered it, the moment, it felt natural, it made sense. And yes, it kind of makes you smile as a fan because, you know, it's a line from the original movie, but it felt right. So a tip for other writers, other directors, if we get sequels, you know, that's how you do something, you know, to sort of acknowledge previous movies but do it in the right way. Whereas the Predator, Shane Black's The Predator, was just cringe. It's a very gory film. There's a lot of blood in this as well. It's very violent. It doesn't pull back, and I like that because it's classic Predator. And I really appreciated that we got an R-rated Predator movie. And, you know, the action scenes are very well choreographed. You know, the way they shot, you know, you get the nice long shots of the Predator and where you've got all the action. None of this silly shaky cam where it's, you know, they try to add, you know, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't work. And it's just, yeah, so just the way the film is shot, the way the action is shot, you know, the scenery, everything is just so well done. This is a very well made movie, and it's very clearly made by a fan. Dan Trachtenberg clearly loves this material, the original movies, and even the comic books, I'd say, because I think there are elements of the comics within this film as well. So you go, after the Predator, this has left me a very happy fan. But I did have minor gripes with this as well. I mean, it's not a perfect film, but I really fucking liked it. Like, this was a very good Predator movie, but I did have minor gripes, and so we'll go into those now. So the dialogue for me didn't always work. First of all, I may as well just sort of get this off my chest. I wish they'd shot the film in Comanche. and then dubbed it in English, and we could have, you know, instead of dubbing it in Comanche and shooting it in English, I wish it was the other way around, because that for me would have just made it that little bit more authentic, even though the film feels authentic in its set design and the costumes. You know, they achieve that, but I feel like, and again, this is why it's a minor gripe, is I just wish they'd shot it in Comanche, because it would have really have helped add even more to that, you know, that sort of authentic feel to the film. But the dialogue always didn't quite work for me. So certain characters would be saying something, and it'd be like, oh, it sounds like they would, you know, it sounded like something that people would say today, not 200 years ago. I'm not sure if that's just me, but you know, that kind of, again, adding to that authenticness of the movie. There were times where certain characters would say something, and it was like, okay, they're talking, but they're talking as if they're talking now in modern times, not in, you know, 200 years ago. But again, that was just a minor gripe for me. It didn't really throw me out of the picture. There was one moment in the scene, a very, very quick moment, it's not even a minute long, that I felt like we didn't need, and it's quite early on in the film. So it's, and to be honest with you, if there's one scene, and there's only one scene that I would take out of this film that I feel like would make it that just tiny, tiny little bit better than what it is. And that's where you see the Predator, so the Predator's ship, and it flies off, and then he's obviously come out to the Predator ship, and he's in front of the camera. It's in some of the trailers, and I felt like we didn't need that. Like, that was, for us as an audience, was the first reveal of the Predator, and I felt like the first reveal of the Predator should have been with the bear. We didn't need that particular scene. It for me, it felt very tacked on as well. It just felt odd, sort of the way the movie starts, and those first 15 to 20 minutes, and then you get that one shot of Predator's ship flying away, and there he is, you know, he gets up and he's ready for that, and I just felt like we didn't need that. And it's only a couple of seconds long, it's only a few seconds, so again, it's a minor gripe. I feel like the first reveal should have been the bear. And then the design of the Predator. I love how this Predator looks in the film with the mask. It's a biomask, I believe, and the new design of its weapons, where it's more of a primitive, which makes sense, but its weapons are also a little bit more primitive than what we used to from previous films, and it has that sort of wild, that kind of just like feral look about it, and I liked it up until the mask comes off. And the actual design of the Predator for me was too monster-like. It kind of, like, with that original, with the way the eyes are, and it almost, and again, like the body itself, it's very human, but also alien. And I think there was they did a really good balance with that original design of a, you know, sort of a human aesthetic, and then an alien, you know, as well with that. With this, you get it up until the mask comes off, and then for me, it was just a bit too monster-like, and perhaps a bit too much of a departure from that original design. But yeah, a minor gripe from me, and that is it. Other than perhaps I would like to see a few deleted scenes put back in. I view there was a deleted scene with them around the camp, and they sing this song to celebrate, and I just feel like those sort of moments would have just immersed us a little bit more, with a little bit more character development. But I just think everything was just right with what we got. The runtime was just right, everything flowed very nicely, you know, it was very similar to how that first Predator plays out, but again, felt very fresh, felt different, even though it had those kind of similar beats. And I think it's Amber Midthunder's character, her journey through this film, that really makes this special as well. And like as I said previously, I really was able to connect to that, and it was very enjoyable. It was a very enjoyable movie. Yes, I've got some minor gripes with it. Yes, this is one particular moment that I felt like was a bit of a, why have we got that moment? So, you know, but again, it's a very, very minor gripe from me. This was a very enjoyable movie. It's a film that I've been wanting ever since, I'm going to say it, the second Predator film. You know, it's the one that I've been waiting for. Dan Trachtenberg did a really good job with this, and I hope they keep him on for any sequels they do, because he clearly loves this material. He loves the sort of the original movies. This should have been a cinema release. You can sort of, when you're watching this, you can kind of sort of feel it. Like, this really should be viewed first time on the big screen, that big screen experience. And I hope somewhere down the line they do a limited release, perhaps, you know, on the big screen, because I would pay to see this movie again on the big screen. And I think there'll be a lot of Predator fans out there that will. So yeah, really liked it, and I would be giving Prey an 8 out of 10. That's it. It is absolutely boiling here in Wales, in the UK. We are going through a week-long heat wave, and I am struggling. But yeah, they are my thoughts on Prey, the 5th Predator movie. What did you guys think? You know, if you've made it this far, that is. Please leave a comment below and let me know if you agree, disagree with anything I've said. And if you want to watch future movie reviews or just general movie talk from a geek in Wales, please hit the subscribe button. It will mean a lot to me, and yeah, I'll be seeing you soon.